Coming up on Mornings on the Hill, what's being done to keep students safe?
Plus, a school counselor's battle with mental health and how she helps students.
Caitlin Clark gets drafted to Indiana Fever.
Good morning, Syracuse. I'm Jonathan Kinane, and I'll have a look at weather today. Got one word for you: seasonable. I think it's safe to say that spring has sprung. Weather and a whole lot more coming up on Mornings on the Hill.
Good morning, I'm Kristen Lilly. Thanks for joining us for Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Zatazia Duffy. Here's a look at today's top story.
2 officers have been shot and killed in Salina after responding to a report of a stolen vehicle.
This morning, authorities are investigating the deaths of these officers, which occurred Sunday evening. This marks Onondaga County's first fatal shooting of law enforcement officers in over 30 years. Officials say Syracuse police officer Michael Jensen pulled over 33-year-old Christopher Murphy, who took off at speeds over 100 miles per hour. Lieutenant Michael Husak and other officers found the suspect at his home on Darien Drive in Salina. According to police, Murphy opened fire, resulting in a shootout, killing Officer Jensen and Husak. The suspect was also killed.
Officer Michael Jensen of Rome leaves behind his parents and sister, while Lieutenant Hustock of Clay leaves behind a wife and 3 children. The concern for teacher safety in Syracuse School District is at an all-time high. That's according to the president of the Syracuse Teachers Association.
Our Whitney Williams tells us more on what's causing these concerns and possible solutions.
Yes, Kristen, teachers right now in the Syracuse School District are pleading for safety and respect in their work environments. Now, this comes just 2 months after a teacher was assaulted on the school grounds of Lincoln Middle School by a disgruntled parent. Now, what happened is that the parent, Linzina Sutton, bypassed security, walked straight into the school building, located the teacher, and struck her multiple times in the face.
This past incident was absolutely the straw that broke the camel's back.
President of the Syracuse Teachers Association, Nicole Capsello, says while parental assault like this is a novel occurrence, it's not the first time violence has threatened teacher safety in the Syracuse School District. We
have violence in our buildings. We have behavioral disruptions in our buildings amongst our students. And that creates its own set of circumstances and potential unsafe environment to work in.
Teacher Fain Fahim, who works as one of the district's crisis intervention specialists, deals with student violence firsthand.
So just not even 2 weeks ago, I had to do a 6-girl mediation that actually happened outside. I had to do it outside of the school property because it got dangerous. Guns and everything were involved.
Capsello says the Teachers Association has seen a steady increase in aggressive student behaviors since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. She says this increase has played a toll on teachers, which in turn can affect students right here in the classroom.
It's the airplane analogy, right? If you don't put your oxygen mask on and make sure that you are taken care of, you can't take care of the person next to you. So same with if I'm an adult in a room, I need to feel safe and secure and know what my resources are and what my supports are in order to take care of the 20-something other young bodies that are in front of me.
The Syracuse City School District says they are working towards improving the physical safety of school compounds.
After the Lincoln incident, we're doing an internal review of our security measures, and that means looking at what we can improve on. Our Department of Public Safety is always looking at the newest technology that we can bring into a school to try to make students feel more safe and teachers feel more safe.
But it's more than just the physical structure of schools that will make teachers feel safe.
Parents play a huge role.
And the Syracuse City School District agrees.
Because if the behaviors that the students are learning at home trickle into the school, or the parents do something that the kids see, it's all this big cycle. So we really need to just break this cycle and work together to make sure we're ensuring that this is a place for children to learn. Every teacher here has taken this job to educate kids. There's just so many different steps now besides educating. So we really want to make sure that teachers are feeling safe.
The Teachers Association told me that they are working closely with the Syracuse School District to develop more policies to ensure teacher safety. Reporting live in Syracuse, I'm Whitney Williams for Mornings on the Hill.
Folk College is transitioning to focus more on certain programs.
Mike Ostrowski joins us live on the Hill to explain these changes.
I'm standing outside Falk College here in Syracuse, which is well recognized as an innovator for preparing students for careers in the sports field. From creating the first sports analytics program in the entire country to having a very strong relationship with SU Athletics, they have a well-deserved reputation. And it's because of these last 2 decades of success that the school will soon be renamed to the Falk College of Sport. The school will consolidate its resources around 5 majors, those being sport management, sports analytics, nutrition, exercise science, and a new esports program being developed along with Newhouse. These programs will focus on emphasizing 4 aspects of the industry: sport business, human performance, sport technology and innovation, and community sport and wellness. Additionally, the college plans to create a new sport research institute. Jeremy Jordan, who was appointed Dean of Falk College last July, calls this undertaking a bold step in solidifying Syracuse University as the preeminent institution for sport-related academic study in the country. The college's existing programs in human dynamics will not be affected for fall 2024. Vice Chancellor Gretchen Ritter says that they will be re-evaluated to best fit the growing needs of their respective industries. Reporting live on the Hill, I'm Mike Ostrowski.
Thank you, Mike. Transitioning over into our weather, the sun is shining and the birds are chirping, and we may finally be into spring in Syracuse.
Our Jonathan Kinane is live with a quick look at the weather.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Well, the sun is out, birds are chirping, as we said. The days are getting longer. I dare say that spring has sprung here in Syracuse. I hope I can say that. Right now, really pleasant 52 degrees, bit of a light wind out of the northwest, and we're on track for a beautiful day here. A high of about 61. The weather looking a little unsettled the next few days. We'll have the look at your full forecast, including how it's going to look for the Bruce Springsteen concert a little bit later. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you. Caitlin Clark has been chosen as the #1 pick in the WNBA draft by the Indiana Fever. During her record-breaking college career with Iowa, Clark became a household name.
That's right. Clark is an all-time NCAA scorer and contributed to the 18.9 million viewers that tune into the national championship game between Iowa and South Carolina.
The transition from student to working professional can be daunting for Gen Z and millennials gearing to hit the workforce. Josh Crawford spoke with young professionals here in Syracuse to dive headfirst into the hidden battles that they face.
From mental health strains to financial pressures, this demographic grapples with unique challenges. Josh joins us live with their stories.
Thanks, guys. Yes, different areas have a different amount of resources to give to young professionals in the different circumstances that we're in right now, like you mentioned, entering to that workforce. Now, some of my story does focus on issues specific to Black young professionals, but a lot of the issues that you see within this story are evergreen. So if you want to learn something about our young professionals, some of the struggles they go through, tune in. Meet Jacqueline Levy, a 24-year-old mental health therapist and elementary school counselor. Despite her expertise, she's had to work through her own issues, and she was transparent with me about her personal struggles with mental health, transitioning to upstate New York as a lifelong Floridian.
I was born in Florida, did my 4 years of college in Florida, and then came up here, no family, no friends, never visiting before, just fully transitioning from bachelor student to master's student in a completely different place than I was used to.
Financial stressors loom large, affecting mental health. Tiara Johnson is very familiar with the concept. An SU PhD student originally from Atlanta, her novel, titled Living with 20/20 Vision, The Mental Health Awakening in the Black Community, was featured with the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, and WebMD recently interviewed her to speak about her novel. She talked about the interconnectivity with the two concepts.
That's such a great question because I don't think a lot of people realize just how much financial burden and uncertainty is linked to mental health trauma, especially for us young people, because we're trying to figure it out, right? We're in this weird stage.
Tiara's insights bridge both lived, real-world experience and the scholastic existence of students. But that doesn't even mean the resources are necessarily there for young professionals to put that insight into practice. Anna Jones, a 27-year-old SU PhD candidate from North Carolina, graduated from North Carolina Central at just 20 years old. She worked as a data entry specialist afterward, getting some corporate America experience before being able to drink legally. She's now at SU getting a PhD in political science, but our support from the university has been minimal in terms of sustaining her mental and financial health.
The university does not pay their graduate students enough. Grad students have unionized at this point, so there is a raise coming. With the university, I make less than $23,000 a year, which is very close to the poverty line.
So like you heard Anna say, all three of the young professionals I spoke to were, stood on business in terms of making sure that residents and family members were, to make them aware of resources that potentially could be useful for them and all young professionals. Now, obviously I'm biased as a young professional myself, but with the age of social media and technological advancement, it could potentially be a very rewarding demographic and group of people if invested in properly. Josh Crawford, NCC News.
Coming up on Mornings on the Hill, a popular medication is sending more kids to the ER.
And the clock is tick-tocking towards another vote that could pave the way for TikTok ban in the U.S. Those stories plus a beautiful day on the way weather-wise. Jonathan's full forecast is up next.
Welcome back to the Esports Juice Box, where we break down this week's news in esports into small digestible sizes for your easy consumption.
My name is Isha.
Hi, my name is Sadie Miller.
My name is Luke Brady. I go by St. Luke.
So this one I started with this guitar lick.
Welcome back to Review Crew.
On today's episode, we're going to review Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Here's a trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Let's talk about this movie now.
Let's talk about it. I liked it a lot.
I love Kick-Ass.
There are parts of me that want to just go through frame by frame and see every single multiverse when they'd have those flashes.
Yeah, the big flashes. Me too.
Talented, funny, handsome. Tim,
come on.
You got it all, buddy. You're like my own person.
Look who's talking. Come on.
See you next week.
Time to check your weather for today.
Jonathan Kinane is in the studio with a look at your full weather forecast.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, really nice morning out there. It's, the walks up to campus are definitely getting a little nicer, a little more pleasant, a little more endurable. We're at 52 degrees right now, and it's going to get all the way up to 61 for today. Beautiful day in store. My not so professional advice would be to get out and enjoy the sun today. Now, kind of a similar story as we start tomorrow. Cold in the morning, 39, but that's going to warm up very quickly, up to 62 by the afternoon, and that's when the rain starts to come in. Temperatures kind of level out right there around the mid-60s, then pretty consistent rain as you're driving home from school or work, and those definitely persist into Thursday morning. Now a look at your 5-day, and 64 tomorrow, low of 52, and then Thursday, there's that Bruce Springsteen concert that everyone's talking about, who I called overrated last week, and I still do stick by that. Rain for that, but getting a little better, as the tailgate kind of begins. Friday, a similar story. And then, we're looking nicer, but definitely a little cooler as we head into Saturday and Sunday. You know, you can kind of get outside. It might not be the best, but that's what we're looking for over the weekend. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you. Today is day 2 of former President Donald Trump's hush money trial. This is the first of Trump's 4 criminal cases to go to trial, the only one to do so before Election Day.
Trump is charged with 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. Prosecutors say Trump falsified records in order to conceal criminal conduct and hide damaging information during the 2016 presidential election. Trump has pleaded not guilty and denied the allegations. Prosecutors say Trump tried to cover up hush money payments made to adult film star Stormy Daniels, and they are expected to argue it as part of the broader scheme to influence the 2016 election.
A new bill to ban TikTok can be up for a House vote this week. It's different than the one passed last month. Sources say the ban is tucked into a set of 4 separate bills that addresses Democrats and foreign aid priorities.
The Senate has yet to make last month's TikTok bill, but the White House prefers a Senate package that does not ban TikTok. You can help Instagram and Facebook decide how to respond to artificial intelligence-generated pornography. Through April 30th, Meta's Oversight Board is taking public comments to advise on moderation decisions.
This comes amid explicit AI-generated nudes of 2 public female figures from different countries that were posted on the social sites. Concern is growing that AI is fueling a rise in the creation of fake, explicit photos. Meta's Oversight Board is working to determine if the company has appropriate measures in place to address the content and whether it is consistently enforcing those policies to equally protect women around the world. The popular sleeping aid melatonin is sending more and more children to the emergency room. A report last month from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention found 11,000 children had ER visits between 2019 and 2022 after ingesting melatonin while unsupervised.
The Council for Responsible Nutrition is urging supplement producers to add child deterrent packaging and cautionary labels. The group says an April 2023 study found 25 products labeled as melatonin gummies contain dangerous levels of the hormone.
Coming up on Mornings on the Hill, a big day for Deasia. SU star hoops player is selected in the WNBA draft. Where is she going?
Zach and Pat have your full sports report up next.
Welcome to an excellent episode of Live from Studio B.
My name is Jenna Cooper, and I am the relationship psychologist.
My name is Paige Phillips. I am the astrologer, and this is Psych vs. Stars.
Welcome back, folks. Let's talk sports. It's a busy time of year in the world of athletics, but let's start with what happened yesterday night in Brooklyn. The WNBA draft saw Syracuse star Deasia Fair taken 16th overall by the Las Vegas Aces. The Aces will open their season less than a month from today when they host the Phoenix Mercury. Orange Nation will be excited to see her WNBA journey. Now to the Diamond, where Q's softball took on Seton Hall in a 3-game series over the weekend. The Orange started the series off strong, taking games 1 and 2 on Saturday. The Orange came back from an 8-4 deficit in the 7th inning, scoring 8 runs in the final frame, propelled by a Morales Alve game-tying 2-run double. The Qs would tack on another 4 runs, leaving it up to Angel Hasso to partly slam the door shut here with this Superman catch in center. What a play, full extension from Hasso out there in center. The Orange would go on to take Game 2 by a score of 5-3 before falling 1-0 in Game 3 in a pitcher's duel on Sunday. Now, from the diamond to the field, as our house lacrosse expert Patrick Smith talks Q's Lax.
Thanks, Zach. Well, we're closing down on the regular season for men's lacrosse. Just one game left this Saturday, April 20th, when the Syracuse men's lacrosse team will welcome in 4th-ranked Virginia at 2. But this past Saturday, the team traveled to Chapel Hill to take on North Carolina. This was a must-win game for the Orange in order to sit pretty in the ACC tournament right off the bat. Big save from goaltender Will Mark. And Syracuse was without their offensive coordinator, who was suspended for 1 game because of his ejection in the game against Cornell. A slow start, but Joey Spallina to Billy Dwan, the lawn stick, who strikes first for the Orange. Next possession, Christian Muley back up top to Owen Hiltz, who rips it off stick hip. Jump into the second quarter now. Syracuse with the lead. Owen Hiltz up top, who had a pair of goals, rips another one home. Syracuse finding their groove a little bit. Orange up 2, and Joey Spallina with a beautiful cross-crease feed to Jake Stevens. Syracuse starting to find their groove a little bit more. Mid-third quarter, Syracuse now up 5. Joey Spallina behind the net and finds beautiful Finn Thompson for a cut. Goaltender Will Mark, as I said earlier, came up huge in the 4th, making 13 saves. But Carolina made sort of a comeback, but in the end, Syracuse wins it 10-9, improving to 10-4 on the year and 2-1 in ACC play. Head coach Gary Gait, after the game, told media his team still needs to find ways to finish out games.
You know, the players stepped up, and we did what we had to win. And, you know, it wasn't pretty in the 4th. We still got work to do on finishing games, and we'll get better at that. But I also give North Carolina credit for not giving up. You know, I thought our face-off guys did extremely well against the #1 face-off guy in the country.
Well, the NBA playoffs are coming up, Patrick. Who you got in the Eastern Conference coming out of the play-in?
The Philadelphia 76ers and the Miami Heat.
Same. I got the Sixers and the Heat coming out, you know, playoff Jimmy. What about the Western Conference?
I got the Warriors and the Kings. They're the 2 lower seeds.
I've got the Warriors and the Lakers, actually. Now, we're going to talk a little NHL here. You know, we have a bias here from Detroit. Let's go Red Wings. Yeah. Wings, Caps, and Pens are in a wild race right now.
Very, very wild, and it all comes down to tonight. It's game 82 for both teams, and if Red Wings can win, we need the Flyers to lose, so then they can get in, but if it doesn't, then the Flyers can, and the Caps can still get in. So
you know, I'm not going to pretend to be unbiased here. I would love for the Flyers to win this game, knock those Caps out, get Hockeytown back in the playoffs. Larkin bar down, bud. That's all for sports on Mornings on the Hill. Still to come here on Mornings on the Hill. The Olympic torch has been lit for the 2024 Games.
Stay with us. That story and more just ahead.
Okay, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Catherine.
If you could come up with a new TV show, what would it be?
I'm a really big fan of SNL, so I feel like it'd be really cool to have an SNL kind of comedy show here at Syracuse.
Did you know that if you take it to OTN on campus, they'll literally make it happen?
No way. I have like no experience. Is that okay?
No experience needed. The OTN staff will literally show you everything.
OTN is...
Orange Television Network. It's the best thing since sliced bread.
No way. They have sliced bread?
Yeah.
Okay, so my typical day at the university is...
So you're doing your regular? Okay.
My own peers have told me that every single one of them have told me now they want to be like me now. I want people to laugh about it, but I also want them to see what is a typical day this night at the university. One day I was on the trolley going up to the South Campus one day, and then all of a sudden I was not expecting this, and then all of a sudden, yes, that's our TV star Thomas.
Welcome to an excellent episode of Live from Studio B.
The class of 2024 finally knows who the keynote speaker will be at commencement. SU choosing Dario Nardella, the mayor of Florence, Italy, to give the main address.
Florence has hosted SU students for over 60 years as part of the university's study abroad program. The commencement ceremony will be on Sunday, May 12th at the JMA Wireless Dome.
Finally this morning, the Olympic torch has been lit for the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. The torch was lit in Olympia, Greece, which is an Olympics tradition. French Olympic medalists received the torch from Greek rowing champion Stefanos Douskos.
Before the opening ceremony in Paris, 600 torchbearers will carry the torch over 3 weeks. The summer 2024 Olympic Games will begin July 26th and end August 11th,
That's going to do it for us this Wednesday here on Mornings on the Hill. I'm Kristen Lilly. Follow us on social media.
And I'm Zatazia Duffy. Thank you so much for watching Orange Nation. We'll see you next Tuesday live at 10 a.m. here on OTN.
Welcome back to the Esports Juice Box, where we break down this week's news in esports into small, digestible sizes for your easy consumption.
My name is Isha.
Hi, my name is Sadie Miller.
My name is Luke Brady. I go by St. Luke.
So this one I started with this guitar lick.
Welcome back to Review Crew.
On today's episode, we're going to review Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Here's a trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Let's talk about this movie now.
Let's talk about it.
I liked it a lot.
I love Kick-Ass.
There are parts of me that want to just go through frame by frame and see every single multiverse when they'd have those flashes.
Yeah, the big flashes. Me too.
Talented, funny, handsome. Tim,
come on.
You got it all, buddy. You're like my own person.
Look who's talking. Come on.
See you next week.